Stage 1. Distraction. The first and the most basic resemblance to memory loss may be everyday distractions. Things like working on a task and diverting your attention to a notification on your phone, or zoning off from time to time, are normal, everyday distractions. This isn't real memory loss. It's a failure to take in information in the first place. When a distraction happens, the brain is usually too busy, overstimulated, or simply inattentive. You're not really forgetting anything. You're just not picking up information at that moment, because your brain doesn't deem it important enough. A message arrives, a person starts talking to you, or some interesting thought comes up in your mind. Your brain deems that event as more urgent, pleasant, or interesting, and so it briefly diverts your attention. Under normal circumstances, there's no reason to worry about this. It happens to everyone, and it's completely normal, especially in this day and age. Stage 2. Forgetfulness. These are mild, everyday memory slips. They happen to everyone, especially when tired, stressed, or multitasking. You might forget the name of a person you just met or where you put your phone. It's human, not pathological. I bet you too have experience going into a room just to forget what you were planning to do there. This interesting phenomenon is actually known as doorway effect, and it happens because your brain interprets two different rooms as two separate contexts. Basically, it momentarily wipes your short-term memory to prepare for new information in a new context. Chances are you haven't actually forgotten what you had to do. A quick fix to this effect is to just re-enter the room you were in before, and then your brain will probably recall that information. This is completely normal and tends to happen more as you age, so it's no reason to worry. Stage 3. Mild cognitive lapses. Now we're slightly diverting off the normal, everyday mishaps. At this stage, forgetfulness becomes more frequent and certainly more noticeable. You may notice it yourself, and others might too. This stage includes things like repeating questions, missing scheduled plans, or struggling to find common words. It's really no big deal if any of these things happens from time to time, but if it happens chronically, you might want to have it checked out. Just to be sure. You've told that same story twice today and didn't realize it. Or, you forgot about that appointment today. These are still normal cognitive lapses, but we should now be mindful of how frequently they happen. It's important to note that these lapses also happen more frequently the older you get. As we age, our brain naturally undergoes some changes. Blood flow may decrease, neurons may communicate more slowly, and the hippocampus, the area that's responsible for memory, shrinks slightly. So, if you see an older adult having memory problems, it doesn't necessarily mean they're developing dementia. It might just mean they're getting old. Stage 4. Mild cognitive impairment, MCI. This is the tipping point, when forgetfulness becomes a medical concern. From now on, we're not just talking about regular, innocent lapses anymore. Memory loss at this level is considered an actual clinical diagnosis. It's more than just being forgetful, but not quite dementia. Memory loss is evident and frequent, but still not severe enough to impair daily independence. What's interesting about this condition is that it may worsen over time or just stay stable. This is why it's important to let go of prejudices and having it checked out professionally. You need to act before it's too late. You don't want it to deteriorate further. People at this stage may frequently forget recent conversations, have trouble following movie plots, or regularly forget what they were trying to say. You can still go about your daily activities at this stage, with some hindrance here and there, but this is no normal level of memory loss. It's not just misplacing your keys anymore. It's forgetting why you went to the store in the first place. Stage 5. Early stage dementia. We're now entering the vast and complex realm of dementia. Cognitive decline now impairs daily life. People with early stage dementia have trouble doing everyday tasks like cooking or paying bills. Even following simple instructions is now a challenge. You may lose track of dates, forget recent events, or struggle with basic planning or finances. You forget that you've already eaten, or that a friend called you today. Imagine what it's like forgetting your friend's name or what your favorite food is. This degree of memory loss reflects on cognitive functions. Reasoning, language, and planning all deteriorate because of dementia, and with that, your quality of life too. Now, it's not just about forgetting your keys anymore, it's about forgetting what they are for in the first place. Stage 5 is also where you start having social issues. You start having trouble with conversations and with people around you. As a result, family members often experience ambiguous grief. The person is still there physically, but mentally they start slipping away. People at the previous stage could still live independently with some effort, but now you can't really function on your own anymore. You need external support. Stage 6. Moderate dementia. Stage 6 is our second turning point. From this stage, memory loss doesn't only affect cognitive functions, but behavior and well-being too. People with moderate dementia may struggle with anxiety, mood swings, or assume unconventional behaviors. This is caused by the profound frustration and confusion that dementia brings. You can't live on your own. You can't cherish important events in your life. And this brings frustration. Home starts feeling like a foreign place. You don't remember your friend's face anymore. You don't know what year it is. And cooking a meal becomes impossible because you forget how to turn on the gas. Due to this, you now need constant assistance for everything. Cleaning, cooking, dressing up, and more. It's not that you can't physically do the action, you just forget how to. Quality of life and well-being seriously deteriorate here. You forget so much that even your sense of identity slips away. At this stage, you can still remember who you are and what you look like, but you may forget if you still go to school or not, what things you like and what defines your identity. Stage 7. Late-stage dementia. Late-stage dementia is scary and unpredictable. There's now a drastic change from the previous level. Your identity completely vanishes. Now you don't even remember who you are, what your face looks like, and your most basic needs. Late-stage dementia is so profound, it doesn't only affect the brain anymore, but the body too. You're not in control of your body anymore because you forgot how to execute basic bodily functions. You can't walk by yourself because you forgot how to move your legs. At stage 7, it's not only your quality of life that deteriorates, but your body too. You need constant care and assistance. Without it, you'd even be at risk of dying. This is where memory loss can get fatal. Communication and language is seriously impaired. You forget most basic words and how to make sentences. You speak to yourself in a mirror, but you don't think that's you. You think you're talking to another person entirely. However, one of the few things you still remember are emotions and face expressions. You don't recognize people's faces, but you can still recognize a smile or a handshake. You can feel compassion and some basic emotions, and you can still smile yourself. This happens because the parts of your brain that regulate and recognize emotions tend to deteriorate slower than the rest. Stage 8. End-stage dementia. This is the end point, the most extreme stage of memory loss, the final stage of Alzheimer and other neurodegenerative diseases. Your body further deteriorates, and now, even the involuntary movements and reactions of your body don't work. The kind of movements we do on a regular basis, breathing, reacting to danger or stimuli, now are impossible for most of these people. You don't only lose control over your body loses control over itself. Even the emotional responses you still retained in the previous stage are now gone. All of your brain has deteriorated, and now you can't recognize emotions, touch, or love. You can't smile or contract your muscles anymore. You're still alive, but it's like you're not here anymore. This is truly the end stage, because after this, there's only the physical death of your body. The brain has completely deteriorated, and now the body will too. That's all, friends. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like and subscribing. It would really help me out a ton. More videos like this are on the way.